in life, whether it's personal or professional, we hit a wall. And you know what? We continue to hit that wall so much that we get frustrated. And we feel as though we've lost control. Lost control of achieving those goals that are important to us, or things that we really want out of life. Now, when it comes to women advancing in their career, some will say it's less about hitting a wall. It's hitting a ceiling. It's hitting a glass ceiling, which is that it's what people do to us, or what organizations, institutions, teams that we work for do to us that holds us back. Now, you all may have been in the work environment long enough that you've hit a wall, or in your personal life, or perhaps you have hit a glass ceiling. You know what? I personally have hit many walls and many glass ceilings through my career. Let me just give you a few examples. I remember many times early on when I really wanted to get this new opportunity. I would seek it out, I would go for it, but somehow it would get passed by. Or I'd want to, really speak up in a meeting. In fact, I actually had the courage to speak up. And you know what? I knew people here heard me, but they didn't take me seriously. They didn't acknowledge what I said. Or I knew there was this wonderful project out there that would help me to really learn and grow, but you know what? Nobody would take a risk on me. And I really believed at that point there was a glass ceiling out there. That's all I could see. And then one day I was blessed to have a wonderful mentor. He pulled me aside and he said, Beck, I'm going to be really honest with you here. You probably have a lot of good reasons why you feel frustrated and you feel like you're being passed by and so forth, and they may be very legitimate. But I'm going to ask you a very important question. Have you ever thought about asking yourself what you may be doing or not doing that's causing you to get passed by for opportunities, not being taken seriously, and so on and so on? And that piece of advice that mentor gave me years ago was significant in turning my view of how I view life, how I approach things, how I approach my career and my personal life as well. So I learned that the glass ceiling was less important than what I refer to now as the sticky floors. And I learned that much of life's destiny lies underneath our own feet. Now, the sticky floors are based on over 20 years of research that I've been engaged in and working with a number of men and women, leaders, executives, and organizations, communities, and institutions. And they're really based on a set of internal belief systems. These belief systems are so wired into our own mind that we're sometimes not even aware of these. Now, these belief systems evolve into some kind of assumption that we project out on other people and situations. And guess what? These assumptions evolve into some kind of a behavior that we demonstrate. And you know what? Then these behaviors translate into results or outcomes that may or may not be working for us anymore. Now, as I said, I ran into a number of obstacles, and I felt like I had this glass ceiling for a number of years in the way of me. And studies will say that when people feel like they have an obstacle in front of them, they feel out of control, they have the glass ceiling, you know what they do? They look outward. And you know what? I did the same thing, and I rationalized 100 reasons why I wasn't getting really ahead. But let me get back to these sticky floors. The sticky floors are really, as I mentioned, based on beliefs and assumptions that we hold along the way. And, I have to tell you, to be honest, I was stuck on just about all these sticky floors throughout my life. But let me share with you how some of these beliefs and assumptions and behaviors can lead us up to getting stuck on a sticky floor. For example, making our words count. How many times have you been in a meeting when you know you had something important to say, but by the time you were ready to say it, and by the time you realized how you were going to say it, it was too late? Oh, but then you're driving home, you turn in the driveway, and you replay the situation, and oh my gosh, it sounded beautiful. But it's too late. Making our words count as we coach people is really about being relevant, understanding who's there in the audience, how can you really connect to their hearts and minds, and then plan your message from there. And then, making your words count is not just about showing up, but it's speaking up with a level of confidence and belief in what you have to say. Now, I'll share you a belief system that also won't work for you for very long, and this is a personal testimony. Perfectionism. A is best and nothing less. Ever observe people that are mirrored in the details in a meeting? They can't make a decision because they need more information. They lose sight of the bigger picture. Well, that was me. I was a high achiever, and I overachieved, and I had to get everything just right and perfect. Until I realized one day, after reworking all my team's PowerPoints, late at night, losing sight of the bigger perspective, this wasn't working for me. So I created this not-to-do list, right? I had this long list of things that would go out the office door. What are those things that are the priorities? And I accepted and I embraced good enough. So, you know, these are just a few examples of what the sticky floors really are. But, you know, I have found in life that we have a choice. We can look out or we can look in. And if you find that some of these belief systems and assumptions could be part of where you are stuck on, number one, it's really about deepening your own self-awareness and understanding how these might be showing up, and then having the courage to make a plan, enlist people to support you along the way, to give you that feedback, to give you that support and mentoring. And then from there, execute that plan with a level of confidence. So why am I saying all this today? I'm saying this not just because this is a conversation for women, but now more than ever before, we're in a critical snapshot of time, and we need great leadership. No, not average leadership. We need great leadership. And men and women need to show up with their best self, with their best potential, and then tap on each other and these unique styles and differences to really be able to deal with the complexities and new opportunities and challenges that we're faced with today. Women need to realize that they're half the planet, they're half the workforce, they're half of the leadership equation. And I invite them to realize that they need to be the change that they want to see. So my friends, if you see someone heading towards a sticky floor, I invite you to share some of the advice that I've shared with you today. Because coming from my own personal experience, if you encounter a sticky floor and you face it and you don't look outward, but that you look in and do the work, then you realize that this glass ceiling only becomes an illusion. And then more opportunities will come in front of you, more choices that you will have, and then anything is possible. Thank you.